Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today's video I'm going to show you a very simple, cheap gingerbread recipe. For the entire batch, it only costs 94p. So I've already prepped and weighed out all of my ingredients. The ingredients you need is we need 350 grams of plain flour and a little extra for dusting, 100 grams of soft dark brown sugar, 140 grams of butter, margarine. We've used a vegan margarine, but I do believe you could probably use any butters or margarines. 3 tablespoons of golden syrup. It's about 75 grams I've worked out. A teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1 tablespoon of ginger, and then a tablespoon of flax seeds to make a flaxseed egg. You could potentially just use a regular egg. We have not tried it with a regular egg. For all of these ingredients, it works out about 94p. So under £1 for roughly around 20 gingerbread men. The first thing I'm going to do is make my flax egg. So I've got a tablespoon of flax seeds, and I'm going to add in 2.5 tablespoons of water and leave that to sit for about 5 minutes. While I leave that to sit, we're going to put a small pan onto a medium to low heat and add in the butter, the brown sugar and the golden syrup. We're going to leave that to melt and combine together until a smooth liquid. I'm going to add the liquid in here to cool down just a little bit. Once that's cooled a little bit, we will add the dry ingredients. I'm going to be using this to mix. You don't have to, you can do this by hand. It's only because I have it that I'm using it. So add in the flax egg, the flour and the cinnamon, ginger and bicarbonate of soda. Mix that together until the dough combines. Make sure if you're using a machine like this, you scrape the edges to make sure it all combines together. Then you're going to lightly flour a work surface. Putting flour on your hands will help prevent the dough from sticking to your hands. And scrape out the dough onto that. Combine the dough together, make sure you scrape out all the little individual bits. We don't want to leave any behind. We're going to knead that for a little bit until the dough is all combined together and not sticky to the touch, but smooth. Wrap it in either cling film or an airtight container and then leave it in the fridge to cool for up to 40 minutes or in the freezer for about 10 to 15 minutes. Joel and the boys made this dough a few days ago to make some gingerbread men, and we were able to make about 20 gingerbread men out of this portion of dough. I'm just going to insert a few clips of the boys making the gingerbread men because they're the cutest. So we're just about to get the dough out of the fridge, and I've printed off, this is what we tend to do to make our own gingerbread houses. We might at some point get cookie cutters. I know that at Aldi at the moment, they have gingerbread house cookie cutters and templates. And I think it's about $4.99. So we might purchase that because we make gingerbread houses every year, but we just printed off, can you see these templates? All you do is you cut them out and you use them almost like a cookie cutter, but you just cut around the template and it shows you how many of each that you need to print. I'll link where I got these from down below. Once you've taken your dough out of the fridge, make sure to flour a work surface. I cut the dough in half and it was the perfect amount to make one gingerbread house. I rolled this out to be about, I'd say 3 to 4 millimeters thick, and you can see I'm just following the instructions on the gingerbread house cutouts. I placed it as close to the corner as I can to cut the shape out, and do not discard any of the bits that you cut off. All of the discards I just add into another pile to make sure none went to waste. I cut out all the pieces that I needed and put them onto lined baking trays. Once I couldn't cut any more shapes out of the one I had rolled out already, I rolled it back up into a ball and then proceeded to roll it again to cut out the last couple of shapes. There was enough dough so that you could have made 2 gingerbread houses or 1 big gingerbread house if you found a better or different template online. With all of the discard from today, I rolled up into a ball and actually put in my freezer, and I believe it should last in your freezer for a month or two. House all cut out here, ready to go, so I'm going to put that in the oven. Preheat your oven to between 200 and 180 degrees Celsius, and I put them in the oven I think for about 10 to 12 minutes, but just keep an eye on your individual oven because each oven is a bit different. Once cooked through, I placed on a cooling rack to cool completely before assembling. Joel actually made a royal icing here. All it is 250 grams of icing sugar, 1 egg white with a little bit of water whipped together. You can find loads of recipes online to be able to make this. It's just a really strong glue. Alternatively, you can buy edible glue from shops. We started to assemble the gingerbread house. This is more of a two-man job, I would say. I mean, at least me and Joel needed both of us. Maybe that's just because we are not natural bakers. We are great at baking gingerbreads, but decorating, as you can see, leaves a little more to the imagination. Though we definitely get an A for effort because we put our heart into this. You will be able to see at the end the amazing job we did. But that's the fun of gingerbread houses, is it doesn't have to be perfect. You get to have a play around. It's great for the kids to do. If you just assemble it, just gluing all the pieces together, and then you can let your kids decorate it, and you can buy little tubes of icing from the shops for not much money. Alternatively, you can make your own. Like the royal icing that I'm using here that we use to glue it, you can just add different colourings in as well. But it's a great activity for kids to do. I've just done it for the video, however normally the kids would decorate this, and we will be making more before Christmas for them to decorate as well. This is the final product. We're still learning, we're with the piping aspect. The gingerbread recipe is great, the icing worked for us, but we need to get better at piping it. I hope you enjoyed this video and I'll see you in the next one. Bye friends.